Alright, hello everyone. So, I worked with Yoshi Crystal over here, who has Project Gamblitz, basically a Splatoon 2 mod that adds a lot of Splatoon 1 things and maps and stuff, and they wanted to do a rebalancing patch for the game, and so I was offered to help script some changes. Now, a lot of these are things that I don't want in Splatoon 3, mostly because a lot of them are to do with old specials. However, there are some things here that I really want Splatoon 3 to do that we'll be able to see. And there's also some interesting ways for how I went about rebalancing Splatoon 2. So I'm gonna show it off a bit. And, yeah. So, first off is 10 missiles. I wanted to keep this one a bit simple. So, for this one, you are limited to only 3 missiles per target if you lock 3 or more people. So here you see they're going to lock 4 people, but only 3 missiles will land on every target. Or 5 people, because it's a Splatoon 1 training room in Splatoon 2. So that's missile. Very simple one. Bomb rush is just slightly shorter duration. It's a bit standard, but I just toned it back by about half a second. So it's a bit less spammy now. Booyah Bomb has the 7-second duration thing, so this is something I want for Splatoon 3. So, basically, if you kind of Booyah Bomb and sit in the sky, it can be very, like, you can just kind of stall a lot because people can't drop, especially if it's, like, overtime on the tower. So here you can only hold it for 7 seconds, which, in this case, has a bit of a funny impact. Because if you don't charge it, now you just... You lose the bomb. It's very funny. That's just how it works. If you charge the bomb, it's fine, though. So you have 7 seconds to throw it now instead of 9, so it's much less spammable. It's much less you just throw it quickly. I think it's very cool. This also has 20 less HP, so that's also a thing. Ink Armor is also down a second. It's only 5 seconds. And something that was unable to be shown off here is that only 10 damage is required to break it. You no longer need 30 to break it, only 10. So, they showed it with Hydra here. Not sure why, because I think Hydra does 32 on a tap, but yeah. It will break from any hit now, pretty much. Like, you have to do under 10 damage, pretty much nothing will be able to do that. Inkjet. I just made Inkjet a bit faster, about 10%. So you can see its strafe speed is actually, like, pretty decent here. It moves pretty quickly. I really like it. So, a bit of a different approach than what Splatoon 3 went with. I still like Splatoon 3 Inkjet, but I think this is still pretty cool. Because in this game, it doesn't have the vulnerability prunks of Ink Armor, so it moves much faster. Stamp is also faster, and the protection hitbox is greatly expanded. So the protection hitbox will actually cover you, and it's about 5% faster. So it's a little bit quicker. Very cool. Still is the 120 throw, though. Because it's not really as relevant. So, that's that. Ray! Oh boy, Ray! I'm just gonna show you guys this one, okay? I'm gonna show you guys modded Ray, and you'll be able to see all 3 changes. Here we go. Oh, it's so glorious. It's so glorious. So, Ray now went from 1.5 to 2.5 seconds to get the beam around it. So if you are able to move a Ray user, it's going to take them a lot longer to get the full beam. On top of that, the special now consistently does the same damage it does through walls, which is 1.5 instead of 1.8, and it only lasts 6 seconds. Instead of 7. So Ray got hard nerfed in this, because Ray just cannot be a good special. Ever. So instead of removing it, I just made it mediocre. Yes, this is mediocre. In the hands of a good Ray user, they'll probably still get a kill. Like, that's how good this special is. So, this was the only way to go about it, pretty much. A full rework would have involved, like, making it not a global special. It's like the only thing you could do. And for a mod, that's just asking a lot. So I made it balanced instead. Oh, and there's also a reworked Ink Strike here, which in this case just has a 15% larger radius. And it looks like this. So there's Ink Strike with about the radius of a Booyah Bomb. Pretty cool. I believe for the tournament they're hosting, this is actually available. So I think you can have S1 Strike in the tournament they're hosting. So that's very cool. So, Toxic Mist. I didn't go with the stick on a person change. But the way this will work now is if you're hit by mist, you have 1 second of the mist effect after it wears off. So you'll see this guy's in mist the whole time. And when the mist actually wears off, he still has the effect on him for about an extra second. So now, basically, if you get hit or step in a mist, it lingers a bit. Very good buff. Okay, here is my most wanted change for Splatoon 3. Here we go, everybody. The fun change I love here. 45% curling and 10% thinner trail, but who cares about that one? Actually, I don't even know if the 10% thinner trail is in. I think it might not be. But yeah, this is 45% curling. This is actually 45% curling, fully in the game. No sub-saver, nothing. And here it is on range, for example. You get 5 shots, I believe. Very cool. I don't think they showed the splashdown change. There's a few changes that weren't shown, which is why I have these. Yeah, so some stuff here, like the cooldown didn't make it in. So, Baller has an extra 50 HP. That was not shown. And they could not make it climb walls diagonally, but I was going to have that be a change. Splashdown is 10% faster, and if you land from Splashdown, you fully heal. So if you get shot in Splashdown and they don't kill you, you heal your health upon landing. So, that's Splashdown buff. Bubble Blower is 2 seconds shorter as well. For the subs, there's a few more to show here. Point Sensor has its 12-second duration in this game. Basically the same as old S1 Echo. So, I didn't want to have to try to do the whole C weapon on the map thing, so it just lasts a bit longer. Small change. No, Baller could never climb walls diagonally. Sprinkler stays in its second mode for 5 seconds longer, and it's also only 55% of your tank instead of 60. So it's the equivalent of throwing an autobomb now. Very cool. Also, I just realized when I actually crop this that chat will not be able to be seen. There we go. Now chat's there. Okay. Blasters. So this is all blasters. This is S2. All blasters have perfect jump accuracy and do 160 damage directs in this game. That's what you need to do to make them good in this game. So there's no jump RNG for any blaster in the game. And directs for all the one-shot blasters do 160 so they can actually do object damage and pierce armor a bit. So a direct on an armored opponent plus indirect combos. So there you go. Good blaster. Enjoy it while you can, because it's going away. It'll never happen in S3. But yeah, very cool. This blaster is a real weapon, everybody. So yeah. Very cool. And that's with all the blasters. Brellas are pretty simple. Brella is back to its 90 damage. The nerf is undone. Tenebrella is also back to its old damage. That nerf is also undone. So both the Brella damage nerfs are gone, and I did not just stop at these two, of course. For all the Undercover fans out there, Undercover also got a buff. It now does 45 damage per shot. So it is much more reliable, and now you have a shield bump combo. The shield bump is actually a combo. No longer 95 damage, the bump will actually kill now. So you can do 2 shots and a shield. Don't know why you can't normally, but there you go. So this is Undercover with actual damage. So, Dynamo. I have talked about that Dynamo's vertical flick is terrible, and the weapon would be better off without it. So in this game, Dynamo's vertical flick does 60 damage minimum. It will never do any lower than 60 damage. Fall off, nothing. This is 60 damage minimum dynamo to make vertical flick killing reliable. And it'll also combo better just in general. So there you go. Dynamo gets to have a real vertical flick. Very cool. I think that's the last one. Yeah, that's the last one that's shown. So other things. Bombs do still have the 4 lethal unit radius reduction that Splatoon 3 did. What's up? Hey, Osty. I'm going through Project Gamblets. This guy invited me to help out do some balance changes. So I showed a few of the ones they recorded footage of. And I'm just talking about the ones that they didn't get footage of immediately. Okay. Ink resistance got doubled, by the way, for those who are wondering what about main power-up. Rather than trying to rework all of main power-up, ink res is just double as potent. So 1 sub gives you 20 frames before you get 1 less shot to die, basically. That's how I decided to go about it. For main weapons, there's some points for special that didn't make it. All the missile weapons, all 5 of them that get use, are now 200p. There is no more 180p. 52 is 210 for Booyah, and C-Jet's 210 for Ray. Ballpoint, I actually gave back its 30 damage on short range. So Ballpoint is actually really good in this mod. Like, Ballpoint Nuvo is probably one of the best weapons in this mod. And I kind of did that intentionally. Because I think Ballpoint Nuvo is very healthy for Splatoon 2 meta. So, oh yeah, and I think later it's also, no, I did keep it 220. I didn't buff that back. But Ballpoint here can one-shot armor in short-range mode. So Ballpoint can actually fight in short range, and it doesn't need Object Shredder now. Which is very cool. H3's damage didn't make it, but I tried to make Cherry an actual weapon. So I buffed its Bubble Blower damage. CDS, Explo, H3, and Splatterscope are all 210 now. None of them are 220 anymore. Dynamo Roller's Paint is also buffed. Dynamo is going to be very good in this patch. It might actually be the best armor weapon. Actually, I don't know if I go that far, but it might be. Because it's got 60 damage and it actually paints. So Dynamo in this patch is very scary. K-Pro's 200, Knott's 190 since I buffed Inkjet. Barella's got the damage buff, and that's everything. This is a custom patch I got to make. So, there is a tournament being hosted in a few days. So if you guys are interested in learning more about the mod, or the tournament in general, I will have the link in Twitch chat, and it will be in the video description for those who are watching on the second channel. So if you guys would like to check out the mod, if you want to learn more about it, or if you want to see the tournament that's happening in a few days, all the info is on the server, and I'd recommend you check it out. It's very cool to actually see some of the changes I want to be put in Splatoon actually put in the game. It looks very cool. So I'm very happy to see that.